Hey guys, momentaijankguy here, bringing you a brand new deck profile from EX5. This is the most excited deck I am most excited to show because I like the video games Digimon Dawn and Dusk so much. Alright, so let's get started. So we're gonna play 4 Sunmon. Sunmon is a very, obviously for this deck, it's a very good deck. So its effect is, let me read word for word. When an effect places the top card of the Digimon in its Digivolution cards, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card in your hand with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. So what's really nice about that is, so like when you Evo for 2, you can use the Coronamon or the Lunamon effect to put it underneath the Digimon, and then you are able to Digivolve again. With the effect says you have to Digivolve, so I believe you cannot like use it later on during your turn. So instead of evoing for 2, it'll be for 1. I like this one better than the I'm spazzing on their name, Moonmon, I think, I forgot. Just because the other one is you have to play a tamer in order to digivolve, and you don't get any like reduction cost or anything. And so I've been enjoying this a lot more. Now onto the rookie. So the regionals for this deck are very tight until BT I think 16 or 15, where we get the Agumon and the Gaugumon, because they both have Light Fang and Light Fang and Cyclaw, which is very nice. So onto the rookies. We are playing 4 Coronamons. This card is very good late game, sometimes early game if you open up the Red Tamer. So its effect is it dissolves over Light Fang or Nightclaw for 0. Start of your main phase, if you have a Tamer with the Light Fang or Nightclaw trait, you gain a memory. So it's very nice. So you can turn 1, like put this in the raising, play the Tamer for 4. At the start of your turn, you'll go to 4 memory, which is very nice. And yeah, that's basically all it does. And the inherit is the effect where it like tucks things under. So main. Once per turn, by placing the top card of this Digimon with the Light Fang or Nightclaw trait as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, you gain 2 memory, which is very nice. And I'll explain that to you because I believe this is the first deck that can ever do this. On to the other rookie. We're only playing 8. We're playing 8 of everything. Well, 4 of everything, but 8 max. Because like I said, the deck is very tight. You can put in tech cards, but that just increases your chance of bricking. Because I've been playing this like non-stop, because this is also the deck I am taking the Nats, just because I want to have fun with it. So Lunamon, same Digivolution requirements. Start your main phase by returning one of your Digimon to the hand, gain 2 memory, and the main is the exact same as Coronamon. By placing the top card of this Digimon with a Nightclaw or Light Fang trait as the Digimon's bottom Digivolution trait, you gain 2 memory. So I will put 2 of these aside, just so I can explain that to you in case anybody gets confused if you don't already know what the deck does. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. Alright, so on to the level 4. So I'll put these over here because this is the explanation part. We're playing 4 Lekismon. So the 4s are the entire heart and soul of the entire deck. If you don't see your 4s, you're not really doing anything for your game. So Lekismon is on play or when digivolving. Evils for 2 over Nightclaw or Light Fang. On play when digivolving. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with a Nightclaw trait from your hand to your hand, and 1 card with Light Fang or Galaxy. And then you bottom like the rest. So an easy way how to like word it is that blue can add a blue card and a red card, or instead of the red, you can add a Galaxy, so you can add 2 cards. So let's say you reveal this, a red, and a Gracenova. You can add the blue, but you can add the red or the Gracenova to your hand, because the Gracenova is the only card in the deck that has Galaxy in the trait. And then same for the Firemon, vice versa, the exact same thing, same requirements. On play, when Digivolve, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with a Light Fang trait, and 1 Nightclaw or Galaxy. So basically, it searches the opposite. Red can add red, and blue or Galaxy. And so let me explain how the egg works with the inherits for these. Well, I'll just put 1 because they both have the exact same inherit. So you go into this. So you Evo for 2. You do the effect top 3. You add cards. You trigger the you don't trigger, but you activate the Lunamon. You put it underneath to gain 2 memory. which triggers the Sunmon to allow you to Digivolve again, reducing it by 1. So you evolve again, but instead of for 2, you do it for 1, and then you basically, that's how it works. It's a very interesting mechanic, and it's very nice. And then I'll show you guys some like other little plays that you can do. Now on to the level 5. So we were playing 4 Flaremon. So Flaremon evolves for 3, and it has an additional Digivolution reduction and a hard play reduction. So when this card would be played or Digivolved, if you have a Digimon with 3 or more Digivolution sources, and they have the Light Fang, Nightclaw, or Galaxy trait, you can reduce it by 2. So if you Digivolve and you have that amount of resources in your stack, instead of evoing for 2, you're going to evo for 1, which is very nice. Hence why the Flaremon and Coronamon can tuck under to make your stack bigger. And on play when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon when it's 5k or less. His effect is lackluster, I would say. The better level 4, but it does get rid of bodies, which is very nice, is the Gracenovamon. This is a bane of some people's existence. Same exact thing if you would play this card. If you have a Nightclaw Digimon with 3 or more sources, and it has the Nightclaw, Light Fang, or Galaxy trait, you can reduce it by 2. So on play or when Digivolving, until the end of your opponent's turn, one of their Digimon cannot suspend. So if anybody's confused, what that means is like they cannot attack, they cannot block, they can't suspend it. It was like one of their effects. Let's say they have a Samadhi Santi, they cannot suspend their Digimon with the Samadhi Santi. They have Alliance, they can't Alliance. If they try to use hidden potential discovered, they cannot suspend the Digimon to do the effect. It cannot suspend. It's just there. So very, very strong card. It was nice that like if your stack survives and you have the Coronamon or the Lunamon, you can just put this underneath. Evo 1 to this, and if you have the egg, it reduces it by 1, so -2, -1, you get Evo for free. And this deck draws a lot of cards, but this deck is very gimmicky. If you do not see your 4s, you will not be able to play your deck, like I said. The 4s are the entire deck. Now, on to the 6s. We are playing 4 Apollomon. Apollomon is your it runs your security. It pops 1 body, and it has Blitz. The only thing I don't like about it is that I don't know why they gave it that restriction of Digivolving for 5, Digivolving from a level 5 for a cost of 4, if it still evils for 4. For its own deck. That's the only thing I can think about. Like future support, they're going to be different colors for like level 5s, and you'll be able to evolve on top of it. So when Digivolving Blitz, and then during your turn, for every 3 cards in the source, this Digimon gains security attack +1. So if you have 6, he's doing 3 checks by itself. And during your turn, when a card is removed from your opponent's security stack, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP. So as soon as the first check is removed, you get to blow up something. Another thing I forgot to mention is the inherits. The red inherit and the blue inherits are all the exact same for the 4 and the 5s. So the blue one is during the opponent's turn, your Digimon gets plus 2,000 power, and the red one is during your turn, it gets plus 2,000 power. You'll see why in a second. So obviously, like during your turn, the more power you have, the bigger body you can delete. And then we have 4 Dianamon. This is the MVP of the deck. This is this is how you stall out games. It's insane. So Dianamon, same requirements when Digivolving, when attacking. It's also a blocker. For each of this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you trash any one Digivolution card from one of your opponent's Digimon. So you cannot, like, if let's say your opponent has 2 stacks, you can't choose one from there and one from there. It has to only be 1. And then until the end of your opponent's turn, all of their Digimon with no Digivolution cards cannot suspend. So it is a walking Sorai every turn, the longer it is on the board. And the longer it's on board, the more stuff you're going to stun, because the more sources you're going to strip. And all turns, when an opponent's Digimon Digivolution cards is trashed, you can unsuspend it, which is very, very nice. So hence why blue gives you power the opponent's turn, so it's a bigger blocker, so you can kill bodies when you block. And so another thing you can do too is you can sorry about that. So let's say you already swung, and let's say the opponent has 2 bodies, so you swung for ability checks. You do the one of the Ricky seals. You put it underneath. You play out the Diatomon. You strip a sword. It's gonna come in suspended. You're gonna strip a source, unsuspend, and let's say you have the tamer out. You can do it again and bring out another Apollomon that's in your hand to swing for even more checks. Now onto the boss Digimon of the deck. We have 3 Grace Nova. I was originally having it at 4, but I was seeing way too much in my hand. But this card is very, very strong, and I do wish the deck had reboot. So he is about an essay. So he does have a strict DNA Digivolution. You cannot just do it willy-nilly. So you DNA Digivolve with Apollomon and Diatomon for cost of 0. Has security attack +1 and blocker, which is very nice. So when Digivolving when attacking, if DNA Digivolving, trash any 8 Digivolution cards from your opponent's Digimon, which is the, let's say they have 5 Digimon and they all have like a source each, you can strip 1 from each one, because this is from all their Digimon, which is very nice. And then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer Digivolution cards as sources that this has. So the stack's going to be insanely big, so you're basically going to be able to pop anything. And another thing too, so you only get the trash if you DNA. Afterwards, the longer it's on board, whenever you attack, you don't strip, but you'll be able to kill something that has as many sources or less sources than Grace Nova does. And then it does have built-in protection. All turns, when this Digimon will leave the battle area by an effect, so except battle, but it's usually like at least 17 to 21k. Usually, if you draw good, by trashing 2 same level cards in this Digimon by trashing 2 same level cards and its sources, it stays on the field. So let's say they try to Gaia Force, for example, Gaia Force, they try to bounce it, get rid of it. You strip 2 sources. You play against all 4, they try to bounce it. You strip 2 sources. So the only downside is like the more sources you get rid of, the less stuff you can pop later on. And so next, onto the Tamers. So we were playing 4 Ko and Sayo. So this card can also be a security bomb too, basically, because it's a memory setter. So on play or during the main phase, you can suspend this, choose one of your Digimon that has Light Fang or Night Claw. You can put it underneath your Digimon, not the Tamer. You'll suspend it and then Digivolve again. So essentially, it's Coronamon and Lunamon, but you do not gain memory, but you do get a free Evo, which is very nice. And what I mean by it's a bomb is that, let's say you attacked with a Apollomon on the previous turn, and you have a big stack, and they swing at security, they hit this. You suspend it. You can tuck in the Apollomon, and then Evo on top of the Diatomon, and trigger its when Digivolve it and strip sources, and be like, oh, that Digimon can't attack anymore, which is very nice. But let's read it word for word. By suspending this Tamer and placing the top card of one of your Lightning or Nightclaw trait Digimon as his Digimon's bottom Digivolution cards, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card in your hand without paying the cost. So it's very, very nice. And now we are playing Sayo and Cow. This is the better Tamer. This is the Tamer you want to see early on, but this is the Tamer you want to see like mid to late game. But they both have value. The more copies you have on the field, the more consistency you're going to have when you Digivolve. So during your turn, when an effect places the top card of your Digimon as the bottom card, you can suspend this Tamer to gain a memory. And the start of the opponent's turn, by playing 1 card at the same level as one of your Night or Light Fang Digimon from the sources, you can play it without paying the cost. And then 2 of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve. So how this works, that does sound, that might sound very weird, is that, here, let's go with the 4s. So, let's say you went to the Lunamon, you went to Firemon, you put it underneath, you did this, so, and you have the Tamer out. So at the start of the opponent's turn, so before they even draw a card, you play this from those sources. You do the effect, yada yada, and then the last part of this Ionkai effect, the Digimon played by this effect goes back to your hand at the end of your turn. So essentially, if the stack lives, you can reuse the stack, gain free memory, and then evo again. And so that's why the stack likes to be very, very big. Because if you have either or on the field for the Palomon and the Animon, you play at the end of your turn, at the start of the opponent's turn, you play either or, you DNA Digivolve, and then you go into the Gracenova. And then for the option cards, we're playing 1 red memory boost. I was debating about training cards, but the training cards do not do as much, just because I do wish all the cards were multicolor. I don't like that they're single color. I wish they were like blue, red, red, blue. So memory boost, top 4 for a red Digimon, and then you can pop it to get to memory. And then we are running 2 blue memory boost. Look at the top 4, add 1 blue Digimon, and you can pop it into memory. And I also like the memory cards better, the memory boost better, because you get to look at the top 4 aside from the top 2 and dig even farther because you want to see your 4s. And then for the last option card and the last cards of the deck, it's going to be 4 Goodnight Moon. This is an insane option card. It's very generic. It's very strong. It is searchable. I didn't mention that. The Tamers are searchable too, because Firemon and Legismon both say card. The blue ones have Nightclaw, and the red one have Light Fang, which is super nice, so they're searchable. Excuse me. And the Goodnight Moon is also a Nightclaw card. So, main, until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon and one of their Tamers cannot suspend. Super strong. And then you may play 1 Tamer card with the Nightclaw or Light Fang train from your hand without paying the cost. So when they hit in security, you get a free Tamer. Boom! It's super strong. You even hard play this. Playing this back to back when they break a little bit, or they have like a strong 1 single stack, it just stuns them. That way, till you can try to set up. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. I did make heavy Leomon, but I'm still working on the deck, and I do hope you guys enjoy that when it comes out. And I remember I will be playing this deck for Nats, so if you see me at Nats, look for somebody wearing a blue sweater, Mickey Mouse sweater. I will probably be wearing that. But yeah, and I will see you guys next time.